Good morning. How are you guys doing today? It is Tuesday morning and it's Tuesday morning. I don't know. I've been out of it for the past couple of days, so I just wanted to check in with everyone and see how you're doing, and see what's up in Facebook group land. Build your best QBO practice. How is everyone doing? Are you having fun? What else do you want to learn? What else do you want to hear about? I guess for today, for me, I am starting the, do you see that? There's something you can see it. Or I don't know. The flipping of the camera is really hard for me sometimes. Like I saw it over there, but on the camera it's not there. So I looked the wrong way. Anyway, so today I am starting a master course, the QBO month-end master course today. So that is fun and exciting for me. I want to hear about what all you guys are up to. So maybe I should put that in the comments, right? So if you are here and joining us, say hi. So I got new QBOchat shirt. There we go. Cool. Excited about those. So yay. New different camera angle today. So usually I have my phone on down here. So now I'm doing, ooh, I just moved the whole monitor. So now I'm doing off of my webcam, seeing how that works. So yay. Yeah, so let's see what is new in QBOchat world. So like I said, guys, I have the month-end master course starting today. I really should have closed registration last night, but I'll give you the link just in case you're interested in joining. That will be a fun class. Excited to see how it all goes. Okay, so it's good. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Let's see. I should have had something to talk about, right? This gets me a little energized in the morning to be able to talk and hang out with you guys, because otherwise I would just be on the couch still. So if you haven't been following along, I have like a pinched nerve or something going on in my neck and my back. And so I got an MRI on Friday, and tomorrow I get my results as to what's going on. So some days are okay, but then other days it's like radiating pain up and down my back and my arm and everything, and I can't do much. So today I have a little bit of a headache like up in here. So I know that it's like wrapping around a little bit, but hopefully getting my mind off of things, talking a little bit, just whatever. Oh, is the whole thing shaking because I'm shaking? Oops, I just saw my monitor shake. Sorry. I do that habit of shaking your leg, especially like, I don't know, it's my ADD habit or something, like yeah. I have to have something fidgety, whatever. Not a fidget spinner. Fidget spinners are, which I have one around here somewhere. Not here, I guess. Maybe upstairs or something. Fidget spinners are not for fidgeting. because you just hold it. Just go. That's not fidgeting. Fidgeting is my leg going like this. Like, no, that's not fidgeting. Yeah, my opinion on things, right? So, we have a couple people. You guys say hi. What's going on? Give me something to talk about, something to do. I'm gonna mess with my hair now. I did my hair this morning. Let's see if I'm sore from doing my hair. And I put on a load of makeup. It's amazing. So, hi, Arena. Like, yeah, how do you pronounce that? You've been in my classes before, so I know you and everything. Reminder, but I wasn't ever sure how to say your name. Irina? That doesn't sound right. Arena? I want to say Irina. I don't know. It's a very pretty name. So I like the way it looks and everything. So very impressive for me. As you guys can see, my main name is Blaisdell. It's you're very, I don't know, not as I don't know, romantic-y. Like I don't know. It doesn't like flow. Blaisdell doesn't flow. I feel like Blaisdell and Iconis are just kind of, yeah, are very stable, I guess, words. I don't know. Okay, so we have month-end, QBO month-end master course today. Since you guys are here, not asking questions, I'm just going to talk about what's going on. Then, is it next week? I don't know. What's on the calendar? I can't see that far. So the week after, is that the week after? October 1st? Yes, next week is Advanced QBO Principles. So if you guys are interested in either one of those, here are those for you. So month-end master course. That's fun. Let's see, what else do I have up here? So if you guys go to the site, on the website itself, QBOchat, we have a lot of information on there, and I'm behind on doing some more tutorial articles and stuff because I haven't wanted to move. But we do some regular articles, like what is articles, where any of the new apps that have landed up on apps.com, which have been tested and set up or gone through some sort of process with Intuit, and they're now up on apps.com with their integration with QBO. So once we see those come out, we ask them if they want to do a what is article. And basically with the what is article, everyone asks the same, everyone answers the same questions. So questions are like, what is your app's name? What do you do? And when did you get published on Intuit's apps.com? Yeah, that's one question. So what was the main problem you were trying to solve when you first developed your app? What companies or users are the best fit for your app? Tell us about your users' top 3 favorite features or benefits. Tell us about your company's culture. How is your app different from your competitors? Which I like that question, because then they have to kind of acknowledge who their competitors are, and that's always fun and a little uncomfortable for them. What is the pricing for your app, and do you guys have any kind of programs for pro advisors? So every app that does the article answers those questions. So it's kind of fun to see how they do that. And then we also do a community spotlight. So people that have been active in the community, either on Twitter or on the Facebook page or group, or within like some of the training groups or something, then those, we reach out to those and do a profile on them and post that on there as well. So those are some good things. And then also I have the QBO updates page. So I'll share that. That is chronologically going through historically of what have the updates been to QBO. So obviously the most recent up top, and then you just scroll down and you can see, and I link to all of Intuit's articles. I just give a quick synopsis of what the updates are, so you can generally see what's going on. You probably can do a search feature on here to find anything that you're looking for so that you can reference it and go to the article if you want to, or just read, the quick overview of it. It looks like I go back to June 2017 on here, so not bad, right? We got over a year's worth of updates. Haven't gotten September up there yet, but which I swear we just did the Twitter chat for recent updates, and I don't even think they had released the September stuff yet. So it might have released it in the middle of the month. So I'm not horribly behind, just a little behind. But you pick your battles, right? So I know what the thing I posted in yesterday. Scrolling down, scrolling. This meme, graphic, whatever, that my friend posted and, or had shared, and I was like, I need to share this completely. So self-care isn't always chocolate cake and trips to the spa. Sometimes it's meal planning, going to bed early, or letting go of a bad friend. It's forgiving yourself for not meeting your own impossible standards and understanding that you are worthy, always. Self-care isn't just luxuries, but a means for survival. So that meant a lot to me because, as I mentioned, I've been out of it with my back and my neck, and sometimes with the pain, I can't even necessarily remember what I did or what I didn't do. And it's more like when you're in pain for that amount of time, everything, like your world just comes down to just like what's your body. That's it. Like, I don't know. I'm just not able to pick up on everything else necessarily. Sometimes I'm okay. So I have good days and bad days. It goes back and forth. So hopefully today is a good day because I have training today and everything. But so I've had to do some, self-care, self-love, and be like, hey, it's okay that I can't do everything that I wish I could be doing right now. And honestly, I was trying to push in that class in the middle of September, and I wasn't able to fill it with people, and that ended up being a little bit of a blessing because I don't think I would have been able to be any good during that training. So I think it would have put a lot more stress on me and put back my recovery. So I feel good about today and starting a session today, and I've done this one several times, so I'm good. I feel comfortable with it. And, I can get through that and stuff. So, Emily, you said, I relate a lot to the personal high standards. My husband is really good at reminding me that it's okay to have off days or less productive days. Yes, absolutely. It's just, sorry if I'm shaking again. Yeah, it's hard, and I feel like when you have your own business that you have to have your own motivation to do stuff, and that can be really hard sometimes, you know, like what if you feel like crap, it's a lot easier just to like bug out and check out on things. I know if I had a traditional job right now, like I was working for someone, and, you know, doing corporate stuff like I used to do, then I don't know how I'd be going to work and doing this, but I would feel like I'd have to, or I'd have to take sick leave or something like that, right? Versus now, I love it. I have the flexibility, and the workload is low enough so I can handle it and deal with it. I'm just putting off my progress going forward, pretty much. I have a plan on how I want to build out QBOchat and all the trainings and everything, but I can't do any of that right now, so I was just delaying it. So it sucks, but at the same time, it's okay. So yeah, it can be hard, really hard sometimes. So, and I just start sweating. I don't know why it's hot in here today. So what else is going on, guys? I really like that post, by the way. I really did. And I had to share it. So I know I haven't been sharing as much, or I haven't been commenting as much. I've been looking at them. Sometimes if I'm just not able to understand it or like get through it or something, I'm like, okay, we have enough members. Hopefully we can get answers for those questions from everyone else. So look at that. We have 1,300 members now. What? That is insane. That is insane. How do we have 1,300 members? I am honored that you guys are coming together and supporting each other on building your best QBO practice. So if you have any questions on where you are right now and where you want to go and how to get there and stuff, feel free to ask them in here. So that's the way it goes sometimes. So yeah, Coffee with Cathy is very informal. I feel like I just sit here and ramble for like half an hour or something. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I'm rambling. Yay. So let me see. I like to look at things on my calendar and see how things are, what all is happening this week and stuff. Or, you know, like I talked about my month-end class starting today, and I need to do some setup for that Facebook group. If you haven't seen these Facebook groups now have like a training kind of setup or component that you can do. So I can organize things in the group into units. So I do that so I have 6 sessions in the course, right? In all my courses, it's 6 sessions. And then the last week we go over questions and answers and stuff and within the Facebook group. So it's a group where you can ask questions and do stuff all the time. And then I have those 6 live sessions, but you can watch them anytime you want. But my point being is that within groups now, it's pretty cool of how you can put things into units. So each of my sessions is a unit, and then I can then have this option to take my live recording afterwards and apply it to like that unit. So when users come into the group, they can click on units on the side and say, okay, session 1, there you go. And then like sometimes I have this, like I can have PowerPoint slides in there with them, or templates or other stuff that I'll put in that unit. So it's a nice little way of organizing them. I think it's cool. Emily, how long has the Facebook page been up? So it's weird. There's QBOchat Facebook page, right? And then there's this group, Build Your Best QBO Practice, which is like I comment and I do everything under the QBOchat page, right? Or profile or what? I don't know. So, but this group, I started, I think, March or April of this year. I mean, it's freaking cool. Freaking cool how people are joining all the time. Yeah, like Facebook allows you to do that. Well, we call it Welcome Wednesday because we pick that day of the week to welcome new members. But you have an option within the Facebook group to say like, hey, welcome your new members, and it automatically populates who's joined since the last time you've done that. And it limits you to 100 people on that post, or that was the last time I did it. I have a virtual assistant that helps with all this. So her name's Danielle. So she does it every Wednesday, but it's, for at least the beginning, it was like we couldn't even get everyone in. We had to like kind of copy and do like a second post, or sometimes like if you see those comments down below, like those are other people that joined over the limit that they had. So yes, so there's sometimes it's over 100 people that join a week, which is pretty awesome, freaking cool, awesome. And it's one of those things like so we always have this list of who all is trying to request to join. And you guys know, like, there were 3 questions of just like, how long have you used QBO, and all of that. And how'd you hear about us? So as long as they answer the questions, you're in. If you do some shady activity in the group, I might block you. I did some of that this past week, I think. So like, don't sell things in the Facebook group, please. Like, if you want to do anything, talk to me. I mean, I'm open to conversations and stuff like that, and to hear about things and make things better, but don't just post it. Like, we've kind of worked hard to grow this group, so I kind of want to control that a little bit more, make sure it's all okay. So, and yeah, I don't want to turn into an overly sales thing. Like, yeah, I share about my classes, and which are you pay for, but other than that, I'm trying to think. I don't think I have any other revenue stream from that. I hope to do more trainings, more kind of options of things, but yeah, but it's all, it still goes with the theme of like building your best practice and how do we get there and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, maybe I share some trainings with that other people are doing. So, which, like, again, yeah, if you want to do anything, just ask me. It's like, I'm here. I'm paying attention to this stuff. Like, my life has turned into Facebook. Like, I spend all of my time on Facebook, which, by the way, can cause you neck problems if you're doing it on your phone all the time. Just to let you know, because if you're doing this all the time, you're straining these muscles, which I have apparently done, and then pinch something and that hurts. So anyway, let's see, what else do I have on this side? So we have the trainings, we have the QBO updates that I did for you guys. I'm starting to do more articles on how to do things in QBO. So if you guys have any questions or ideas on that stuff, definitely please let me know. So sometimes I get inspired to do a post, so that like will get me out of my funk. Like I have a list of things that I can write about, but sometimes there's something that's so gets me riled up and be like, I need to write about this and tell people how to do this right in QBO, you know, because I'm a QBO dork. So sometimes I do that, and it's fun. I look for you guys for inspiration on what all's needed and stuff, because it's usually, you know, like you're in it every day and you get a block on something, either something's not working or you're stressed out about something with the business or, you know, that sort of stuff. And I've been there for 9 years, and I wish I had someone. So I want to be that someone. Yeah, I'm cheesy, but I want to be there. So, because I still get it. What are your thoughts on QBO's new pricing, where accountants won't be able to take over new clients' billing at the wholesale rate? So that one is an interesting conversation. I'm not a fan of wholesale billing. I'm just not a fan. There's a couple of things about that. So all of my clients have always come to me and they're already on QBO. So I haven't had to do a lot of like transferring people over or anything like that. They've already made the decision to buy QBO. They're using QBO. They're failing at using QBO, and they need help. You know, they need, the business has grown enough that the owner shouldn't be in QBO anymore and doing the little work. Like, we need to help them take over and get everything in a process and make things work better. So if they've already made the decision to buy QBO, I don't feel like there's a lot of value in me saying, hey, I can get you a discount on that. You know, like, I'd love to be able to provide a discount because they're attached to me as a pro advisor, you know, and, you know, they're on my account, but I don't want to deal with the flow through of billing of things. And I've always felt that way. And I feel like I feel even more that way now, like it's solidified even more with different price increases over the years. Because the first thing I see is firms that have like a lot of QBO users in their, or companies, and they're doing the wholesale billing and all of that. Now, sorry, Intuit, you've put it now on the pro advisors to either absorb that increase or push it on to their customers. And then you have to have that uncomfortable conversation. And do you really want to have an uncomfortable conversation about like $10 a month or whatever? I can't even remember what the increases have been because I don't really pay attention to them. Yeah. So this goes back into another thing. I am not good with confrontation. Just go with that first. I'm not good with having a conversation about pricing. Like, it's uncomfortable for me still after 9 years. It's uncomfortable. So what I have done, what I've set up is a way to handle my practice so that I don't have to have that conversation around pricing. Like, that is why I decided not to charge hourly, because I didn't want the hourly, you know, like, to start nitpicking at the invoices about hours, because I didn't want to talk about pricing. I just want to feel free to help you and to do your books. You pay me what I think it, you know, what I want to be paid to do your books, and I will give it everything I have, you know? And if it gets to the point that then it's not profitable for me or something like that, then I will probably delay for a couple months and then find some way to have the conversation about pricing. But I hate the conversation, right? So I've taken it out. So I don't do wholesale pricing, because if there's any changes, I got to talk about it and whatever. I'm like, just no, I don't want them to stress out about or find ways to start nitpicking what I'm doing, and great way to do that is when they're looking at a bill from me. So yeah, hourly pricing, that was out the window at the beginning. I'm like, nope, I can't. I worked for a CPA firm where it was, you go through the hours that have been put in by the staff, and you already mark down things, you already write stuff off, you feel guilty, you do this and that and whatever, and then you send it to a client, and then the client comes back and be like, well, we're not comfortable, da 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 da. And then you're like, well, one, should I have showed them how much I gave them off? And it's not worth it. I don't think our firms are set up to be able to handle that either, because it's, in a big firm, and I didn't even work for a huge firm. We had, I don't remember, we probably had 50 people at most, well, maybe more than that. We had a fair amount of partners. It wasn't very, I don't know. So, like in audit, audit was a weird one. And then forensic, we had a whole ton of partners, but we didn't have a lot of staff under me. Tax, probably had 4 partners. Maybe 10, 12 partners, and then staff underneath that. But you have to have admin to manage that everyone's putting in their time correctly, and then they're going to go through and do the invoicing and talk to the partner, and the partner has the relationship with the client on how much pricing is, and blah, 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 blah. And then, the partner's held accountable on how profitable his revenue stream is for the firm. And, that takes a lot of time to do. And I'd much rather forego all of that time and that effort and be like, no, here's your flat fee. Here you go. I think it's going to take that much. And I have gotten to the point where I've systemized things so much that I know, okay, I'm going to go through your bank feeds and I can see kind of how much activity and blah, blah. So maybe that's an hour a week or whatever. So there's going to be highs and lows with that. But what's even better is the more you do it, the more efficient you get at it. And then, so you end up having, there's more profit at the end of the day. I'm still doing the same work. I did it faster, and that was the other thing. It's why should I, clients get the benefit that I do work faster than another accountant? That's just strange. I was always one of the fastest people at the firm I was with. So when I was in corporate, sometimes I'm just fast at doing stuff. But it was okay, well, then my client gets the benefit of that. And then if you try to have that conversation, I charge $150 an hour, he's like, wait, what? I can get it for $20 an hour. I'm like, well, it's going to take, 20 times as long or whatever. I'm going to use technology. I'm going to use all this sort of stuff. It's going to be faster, but I know how to do all of that, and that person doesn't. And it's not about the hourly rate. Dude, I've been doing this for how many years? I know how to get it done. And yeah, so is that the longest answer to wholesale pricing ever? I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan when it came out, and I'm just not a fan of it. So we pay for systems that the client wouldn't use otherwise. So, as in kind of my cost of goods sold. I'm thinking of an example, trying to think of something off the top of my head. Why am I going blank? Of the different apps I use. Oh, perfect example. Transaction Pro Importer. I'm not going to make a client pay for that subscription. to Transaction Pro Importer. But I know when I priced out the client and did it, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have to import transactions based off of this workflow, and I'm going to set up a system to do that, and blah, blah, and I know the cost of TPI, so I'm going to put that in there, and whatever, and like, so here's what I think that aspect of the work that I do is, you know, how long it's going to take and cost and all that sort of stuff. And that's how I price it. Like, that's my internal cost to do the work. So I pay for those. Will you talk more about the system you have placed in order to avoid having the pricing conversation? Yes, I know I'm going a little bit over the 30 minutes today, but yeah, we're fine. Because you guys are waking me up now. So here's this first one. Here's this link. So this is a practice guide I put together a while ago that's diagnosing the books. So when you first look at a client's books, to price out things, pretty much, right? And, you know, if you need to do a cleanup or where you're going to go with the things. So when I talk to a new client, and this might not be the best way of doing things, but this is how I do things, so take it or leave it. I don't have 500 clients, but I have a handful of clients that I've had for a while, and I make a decent living, so here we go. So yeah, diagnosing the books, I pretty much go through QBO. Well, first I have a conversation with the client and be like, hey, what's going on? What are your pain points? What are we looking out for? Tell me about your business, your workflows, like who's doing invoicing, who is handling the bank feeds, or doing, you know, who's in QBO, who's not in QBO, all of that stuff to kind of get a feel as to how it's operating. So I have, again with the camera angle, so I have the way I do things and then the way the client does things, right? So what I'm trying to do is assess how do I get the way that client's doing things into my way of doing stuff. Because what I've found is the more you change your process, the less profitable you are and more issues you have and more you spend more time on things, and yeah, and it's then you're going to have that pricing conversation faster, right? So it's like, okay, how quickly and how easily can I convert what they're doing into my way of doing things, right? You tell them like, hey, this is how I work. This is what I do. You have to be okay with that. They have to be comfortable with that. Maybe you put in some controls or something like that if they're not comfortable with like you getting into their bank account or any of that sort of stuff. But you can work around most of that stuff. But so you have that conversation, you figure out what their pain points are. That's really important because you want to address the pain points first. Because that's their bottleneck. That's what they can't get past. And if you keep on avoiding it or wait for like last to get to it, then that connection and relationship you have with the client isn't going to be bonded until then. They're going to be skeptical of you and unsure of the process if you don't figure out a way to like, I'm helping you. Like, I heard you, I know what your problems are, I'm going to fix this and I'm going to get you there, you know? So that's a great, you start with that, right? And then it's usually like, hey, you know what? Like, I've heard what you said and everything, but I really need to look at QBO because that's how I can really assess where you are right now and get you some sort of pricing on things. So I've done that, and this is probably not where I'm like my strong suit. So that practice guide kind of goes through like how I assess stuff, and then what I do is so that assessing things is basically looking either like split up the financials or just look at the trial balance, and then know what tasks you're going to do and kind of lay out like the whole plan of things, and then come up with pricing on how you do all of that. So I usually, in the past, I've like sent that over like via email or whatever. I didn't really necessarily have a conversation. This is probably chicken. So probably not the best approach on things. And you really, I think it's so much better if you have that conversation, if you set up your stuff that way. So what ended up happening is I was doing that, and then I've gotten to the point where I have pricing on my website, which has been a kind of really helpful on the pricing conversation and avoiding it because they see right there, like, here is my pricing. Here is where it's going to be. And I've set it up pretty standard. Like, there are some situations where I have to go over or under or something like that. But they can see what's included in everything. And I'd be like, okay, so I had someone recently where I'm looking at my site and I have like virtual CFO Lite. It's $1,500 a month, right? But I'm like, well, I'm not going to do accounts payable. So, and I'm not doing online bill pay. And I actually say that I'll pay for the Bill.com subscription for a certain amount, blah, blah, blah. Because if you're not on Bill.com, I am not that's a hurdle. That's a system we put in place so that I can do my work. Again, so I'll cover that cost. And it's not necessarily always user-friendly and a fun experience for new users. So I don't want them to push back on it because I really need them to use it if we're going to do accounts payable. So, but anyways, maybe I don't have to do payroll stuff and I'll take that out. So maybe I end up with a pricing that's between $1,000 and $1,500 or something, so that I can, know what all's going on things. And then that's, that ends up being the contract and whatever. Do you think not having the conversation in person affects your conversion rate? No. Over the phone. Like I'm virtual. Everything has been over the phone when it comes to those sorts of conversations. And then I don't even do a lot of over the phone afterwards. It's more emails and stuff. It also gets them used to that kind of communication of things. My conversion rate has never been an issue, I guess, on things, because you can pretty much tell with the conversation you have with them the first time if they're comfortable with you or not, and it's kind of your job, I think, on the first one to show your personality, show how you want to make them comfortable and confident in what they're doing and everything like that. And I don't do a lot of selling on that call. I do a lot more of listening and saying, hey, okay, what's going on? I really want to understand the situation and everything. And then I go into like, okay, here's how we do things. I would be updating your books once a week. I'll take a look at those, that specific example or that specific issue that you have, and I'll, see what I can do of setting up a process around it so that we can handle it better, and, all of that stuff. So it's almost like I give some stuff away for free at the beginning. Some people pay or charge to do the diagnosing of books. I've done that before, and then I feel like I have to provide some deliverable, and then I overdid it and did some like really crazy long report that they didn't care about. And then I never could have a conversation with them to go over the report to talk about it. So it failed. It failed. It's so bad. So now it's like, yeah, I can go through QBO and look at things pretty quickly to figure out what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, if it's cleanup or something like that, that's harder. So, so that's encouraging. Good. That, yeah. I think a lot of accountants don't like the pricing conversation. A lot of us are introverts. I am definitely an introvert. I was sweating a couple minutes ago just talking to you guys. Like, put me, if you see me in QuickBooks Connect or any other place, you sweating? Oh, I get through it, but it drains me so badly. But yeah, so like put confrontation in addition to that. We don't want to have that. But like, so there's groups out there, there's training things. I'm trying to think, Mark Wickersham and stuff. They have systems to help you with pricing and help you to have those conversations. I just never went there because I just I don't want to build that part of my brain. Again, I could be just completely chicken shit about the whole thing. I just rather do the accounting and do the bookkeeping and stuff and get past that hurdle. Like I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time on the sales process. So that's, yeah, kind of where I am on things. I mean, it's even difficult for me to be like I'm not pushing, I hope not, my trainings and stuff. It's, yeah. Like I am constantly going, am I doing this too much? And stuff. But really the biggest thing that I've learned is that you just have to ask for it. So if you have that conversation, another thing I do, I just assume that they're going to work with me. I'm like, can't wait to get started. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, let's go. Let me know if you have any questions. Can't wait to get started. Da-da-da. Like, I already assume that it's going to happen. So it makes it really hard for me to say no, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, but that's definitely a hint. I need to like put that in there. Another thing I do, especially working with clients, is I picked this up from someone I worked with when I was in auditing a long time ago, is I use we a lot. So that it's we together, like it shows that I'm part of the company, and I'm like part of the team with the client. So I'm always like, we need to look out for this, we need to pay attention to that, all that sort of stuff. So that, it's not just you, it's we. Because honestly, I'm going to be doing the work of stuff, and you are, business owner, you're in charge of managing the business and making sure it goes. Like I'm putting in maybe an hour a week, maybe, right? You're in charge of the business. I'm in charge of telling you if I see anything that's off and making sure everything keeps running, because you don't need to be weighed down by the books. Like, they need to be working for you, not against you, I guess. I don't know. You can have all those sorts of like cheesy lines. I mean, they sound cheesy, but they're real. You're trying to help them. You want to make life easier for them. So I feel like if you do that, then it really helps. So funny story, or kind of weird story. I don't know. So you've heard how like I sell, right? Like it's more of I'm setting up a process. I'm kind of selling the process, the systems, here's the streamlined approach, and here's how it's all going to work. So my dad and my parents divorced when I was really young, so I haven't spent a whole bunch of time with my dad over the years. But so I didn't really know about this until like one day I had a conversation with him. after I had started my business and everything. But so he was a salesperson, and then he ended up running a plant. So he sold corrugated boxes, and to bigger companies like Frito-Lay, not Frito-Lay, like Golden Flake, that was the one. So yeah, he would sell boxes to those things, when you're shipping and doing all that sort of stuff. Now I think about it and I'm like overloaded with boxes from Amazon, but yeah, my dad sold boxes. And I asked him one time, like, how did he sell and stuff? And he's like, well, I actually would find out what their problem was and I'd create the solution for it. So like he actually, through that conversation, found out he has a few patents on how he created some things. I think he has a background in industrial design too. So he would create, like, sometimes you have the corrugated stuff to like displays and all that sort of stuff. So he'd create it and they'd like it and then they'd buy, So what was really weird, it was eerie because I'm like, that's what I do, like it's like, I didn't know he did that. And it's really what I do. We have very similar personality. Both, I think, are introverted. So don't have the most open conversations all the time. Because we're both just like, hi. But yeah, it's really, that's how I work, is that's how I show value. And yeah, that's what I got. Man, I've almost gone an hour. So you guys love the pricing conversations, don't you? It's more like, how do we avoid pricing? Like, ow. And honestly, with pricing up on your website, like I have, so there are things that I've listened to over the years of, you want to have 3 options. Well, I have 4. Okay, oops. 3 might be better. I don't know. Because usually, if you have 3 options, I usually pick the middle one. Okay. And in my case, I usually end up going even higher than that. Like, you usually pick the top. Like, they want everything. I don't. Anyways. So there's that. I feel like since I put pricing on the website, I have less people that are like surprised by pricing, and there is less negotiating. I never negotiate on price. Well, okay. I never say I'm going to do the same thing for less money. Never. Ever, ever, ever. Never, ever, ever, ever. Nope. If you want to pay less, I'm going to do less. Like, here's what I'm charging. You can go somewhere else, or you can work with me. What do you want to do? Did you have that level of connection and understanding with someone else you talk to? Great, then maybe it's better fit over there. But if they're going to start negotiating from the beginning, they're not in it. They're just, no. They want something cheaper. Okay, go find something cheaper. You don't get me. Sorry. So, and what I've found is that usually when you get rid of, like, if you take on someone that you negotiated a price on, like you lowered a price because they kind of like freaked out over it, they're going to be a problem client. And it's a matter of time as to when you guys in that relationship. And us being introverts, we're going to live with it for as long as possible and just deal and curse them out every time we're doing the accounting for stuff. And it's just not fair to ourselves to live like that. So it's like one of my red flags. I'm like, no, I don't do that. Like, if you want to find someone else, it's fine. Here are other options. These might be other better fits for you. So, because there are companies that will do the same, well, similar work much cheaper, but they don't have my background, and they're more like factories, like bigger factories where it's like processing through everything and doing stuff, and there's less. There's some businesses that just want you to do the work, and then there's some businesses that want you to be aware or want more than just the work. I don't necessarily give a whole bunch of analytics or all this sort of stuff, but I do, like, if you're having problems or whatever, I'm like, here's what your problem is. Here's what we need to work on. Here's, all that stuff. So that's, I think that was my point. It's starting to hurt. My neck is starting to hurt. My lower back is starting to hurt too. Golly. So who's going to sign up for my class, my master class today, or my master course? I know. Hey, we're doing the month-end course again. We're doing, so QBO Advanced starts next week. If you guys want to join in, great. I'd love to have you. I'd love to help you and everything like that. If it's just not in the cards yet, it's just not in the cards yet. I understand. Dude, I understand struggles with money. I understand struggles with time. I understand all of it. So, I just appreciate you guys being in the group. And if you're able to invest in more, then I'm going to give you my all there. If you see who I am, that's what I do. And I probably overserve a lot. So that's just me. That really hurt to do. Let's remind Cathy not to do that. Yeah, MRI results tomorrow. So what I'm thinking is tomorrow morning, I'm going to get my results. I'm probably going to be stressed out beforehand, and I'm probably going to feel like that adrenaline after thing, like just the afterwards. Not that I expect bad results or anything, or whatever. I might have to get like an injection or something like that, which I'm going to have to schedule, and then blah, blah, blah. But anyways, tomorrow is usually my big day for doing books for clients. So I'm going to have to push a lot of that in today. So I'm pre-planning for it, because I'm betting tomorrow I'm going to be like, I'm done. And then I really don't want to spend like the whole day going through bank feeds. But really, it's the bill.com processing. So it's because I have this client that they do all their expense reports through bill.com. We never really got Expensify to work, so I do all the expense reports. And it's not horrible. It's just, I don't know, it drains my brain. So anyway. Anyways, I am going to sign off because it's been almost an hour, guys. And I need to look at what I'm teaching today. So, and get all this other stuff done, and then freak out or something. We'll see what else we're going to do today. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'm here for you. But talk to you later. Just not now. I'm leaving. So I don't know. See ya.